Alright. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome back to Pro Mechabellum, where we have two fantastic players clashing. And the winner of this match, a single map, a best of one here in the round of 8, goes to the semifinals of this season's Mag1 League. FlowerFairy in the top right in the red, going aerial spec with what appears to be a sledgehammer fang start, adding 2 arc lights to that. So some supreme chaff clear. And, of course, the vertical sledge is really good against the aggro speed spec ball crawler start. And you know, when you're playing against ball crawler, you know they're going to go all on one side. You know they're going to go really aggro. And you also know you feel really bad as conclusion that they've gone sledgehammers. You're like, oh, come on, man. Anything except sledgehammers for the first rounds. I feel like when your opponent already has sledgehammers, you're already thinking about which round do I sell these steel balls and what for? Also, you often end up going for extra crawlers, because fangs aren't that useful in an aggro setup like this. Problem being, of course, is that they're just gonna get wrecked by the arc light sledge. So it would be nice if those guys split a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. If the balls can tank a bit, maybe. Let's see if the arc light tracks onto a ball. Arc light tracks onto a ball. That's really good. Okay, so now the crawlers actually start to do some damage. Arc light does finish the ball off though. Goes back to targeting those little boys. And remember, you're meant to win the first rounds with an aggro steel ball start. So you might still, I think we get through. There's enough crawlers filtering through to clear the fangs. Should be able to get the tower. Looks like it'll lead to, I think, a round win, but a pretty close one. And obviously everything can get out of control in the following rounds. Now keep in mind, guys, Fairy, famous for playing defensive, loves to go for the 5 arc lights. Arc light there, like I would not be surprised if we see an arc light here, an arc light here. If not next round, the round after, and then range on round 3 is kind of the standard thing. On the other hand, there are other choices you could make here, but I think the arc light in the middle is a no-brainer against this setup. And oh, so many decisions to make. I'm always torn when I see this. Now, that damage item, really good if there's a good unit drop. It's also amazing on Mustangs, right, as they level up long term. Or, as we can see, Phoenix have actually been picked, and Conclusion takes the same. So I think he might just put it on the Phoenix so they can one-shot the balls. Problem is, then you don't get the advantage of that scaling all that well beyond killing these balls in the early game. Now, Wraith goes down for Conclusion, and I think Phoenix, with damage item especially, is going to be kind of a hard counter to the Wraith. I feel like, don't get me wrong, Wraiths are good on aggro. He does put the damage item on the Wraith to kill the sledges really fast. Doesn't help too much against the little boys, but it'll help as it levels. Yeah, damage item on the Phoenix is just so good against this, isn't it? Let's see how quickly it tracks onto the Wraith, though. The Wraith, it does split its attacks up, does good splash damage. Watch it. Does some really nice damage there. There's nothing in the back door, by the way. We're just going to zoom in on this fight. The Wraith doing good damage spread across these sledgehammers. The Phoenix are not targeting it. Now the Phoenix are shooting the steel balls, but they both shot the same steel ball. And there we go. Now they split fire, but the Wraith's already on top. The Wraith's going to clear it. All right, Wraith's got it. Wraith's got this in the bag. Once the Phoenix are gone, the Wraith cannot be defeated by fangs. It is virtually impossible. They technically outrange it by 15, but they do almost no damage. And that Wraith is going to win this round, which is kind of very smooth, as it gets a lot of experience well on its way to getting to level 2. And getting from level 1 to level 2 is always massive, right? Because you pay 150 to get another 15,000 hit points, double its damage. That stats bonus is so discounted. Now, it looks like we are going to get the melting point for Fairy, whereas Conclusion is going to go Tarantula. Now, this is really unfortunate because everyone knows multi-melter on defense is insane against these sort of ball aggro, hound aggro, that sort of stuff. Basically, defending aggressive pushes, the multi-melter is insane. Now, we, on the other hand, saw what got taken. I think it was an immediate sell for Conclusion. So Conclusion sold something, invested in a second range Wraith. Now, Wraiths are amazing, chaff clear. The question is just like, can you keep the Melter and the Phoenix off them long enough to clear the chaff and get through? Now, until Melter gets its multi-melter, the steel balls are actually, they counter the Melter. Melter clicks multi and then it counters the balls. So it's kind of a complicated interaction. And ooh, we're going to double down on the balls. He's going to shove balls on the front line. Wow. That's ballsy. Sorry guys, I've recently done a survey of my viewership and I found out most of you don't have a chalkboard in your house to scratch your nails down on it. And for anyone who misses school in the early 90s, that's a sound you no doubt miss. There'd always be that one kid in class who would run up and do it. just to make the entire classroom go, ah! And I figured I'd try with my incredibly lame jokes, just to give you guys that bit of a nostalgia, you know? Alright guys, the Wraiths are just destroying everything right now. And you gotta wonder, am I a dumbass? Wraiths, what was I talking about? Wraiths are gonna die to the Phoenix. Why am I so stupid? Well, remember, the Wraith is an amazing chaff clear unit. You've got range, you've got momentum. This is going really well. What happens though if oil goes down in the next round? And do we go multi-melter or do we go chaff clear as fairy is my big question. Oh, sorry guys. I'm like, why is this round not over? Bloody crawlers down there. This did get leveled. Does go down. They're going to kill another tower as well. But yeah, I feel like there's a lack of chaff clear for fairy. I don't think that's a mistake. I think it's just him prioritizing other things. And we'll see what he goes for as this progresses. There we go. Last crawlers will go down. 300 damage. And conclusion, continuing to stack up damage. But remember, fairy had a lot of hit points with this specialist that he picked at the start. And here we go, guys. Tank production line for fairy. Really good on the melter. Conclusions like skip. I have enough things to put my money into. I don't need this, but sledge production out of that melter is amazing. Now, like I said, where's the chaff clear? You've got a few arc lights, but no range. I think fairy has to click range on the arc lights this turn. And I don't think you go energy diffraction yet. Or do, maybe you do. But I think you have to go range on the arc lights. I think oil would actually be really good. Or he's gonna go second melter instead of range. Wow. Does he click energy diffraction yet? Or does he just wants to maybe get levels on these melters? Levels are really important for melters when you're using the split shot, the energy diffraction. He's gonna sell the Phoenix. Ah, sells the Phoenix, goes for the split shot, and then can put the damage item on this melter as well. Meanwhile, 3 wraiths, 4 balls. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about a genetic freak. This man from Germany, TheConclusion, has 4 balls. Most of us only start with 2. He did, but he somehow grew 2 extra pairs, or quads, I should say. 4 quads, I guess it's 16 balls. Anyways, he's going to try and mobile beacon onto that melter. And the melters do have multi. Oh, no chaff in front. But I think the melter tracks on with its range advantage. 85 against 45. And dude, multi-melter. People in chat were saying before we were discussing, is aggro too weak now? People were saying multi-melter needs a nerf. Multi-melter is too good against aggro setups. And what a turnaround. Doesn't even need range on the arc lights. Just slaps right the spread shot on the melter. And I guess because it's mostly balls as chaff, right? And the starting crawlers, makes sense. I mean, if you can just counter those balls hard enough, it's insane. All right, Mustang production line for fairy is going to go down. He's going to make another melter, and that's going to start spawning Mustangs. I mean, it does feel like... I got to be honest, guys. Bear-like has his back a little bit, doesn't he? Remember, this is best of 1. Winner of this goes out of the group. Loser will go down to the loser's bracket for another chance. Split division does go down. Mechanical division. So each time a ball dies, guys, 5 crawlers will pop out. So you're going to have balls dying, crawlers popping out, balls dying, crawlers popping out. Now, I have a question for all of you guys. If you go loose formation... Will the ball crawlers also spread out very quickly, or do they still start super clumped and usually die before they get a chance to spread out? I'm not actually sure how loose formation and mechanical division interact. Probably not that important in this game. I doubt we'll ever get to it, but considering there's not a lot of chaff clear, could definitely come into play. Missile in the back here, and more balls on the flank there as well. Very committed into this side. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen oil yet, guys. It looks like Fairy's just waiting for it. Waiting to use it at the prime time. I like using it early against aggro builds, so it comes off cooldown usually before the game ends, and then I get to use it twice. But this is really interesting. Now, Super Supply comes in for Conclusion. So Conclusion, even though they're in a bad spot, is happy to let this game drag out. Meanwhile, Fairy playing a bit safer, realizing he has to stop this push in its tracks. Because one bad round where you lose your melter... No, the melter tanks. Oh, the crawler... Okay, the Wraith does kill the melter. Oh, here we go. The balls are coming in. The Wraiths are coming in. Dude, the mechanical division actually really helped out. Because you're so reliant on arc lights for chaff clear. Some Mustangs came in. Maybe because he was expecting wasps. Though I don't really think wasps are actually... Oh, no, that's the Mustang production, right. That's the item that he took before. Melter's still going to put up a decent fight, but once those balls charge up, they obliterate the Melter. Dude, this is a 1,000 damage and super supply in the same turn. You know what else, guys? Last time I saw someone crushing with multi-Melter defense, you know what wrecked them? Abyss. We were watching a game the other week, and the player whose attack was getting stopped in its tracks, they went for an elite level 2 Abyss, and they just one-shot a bunch of the Melters here on this, because you see how they get really clumped up around the tower on the defense? Now, Fairy, guys, I don't know what he's picked, bugged out here in the replay. I would imagine Marksman? Oh, he goes Phantom Rays. Okay. So Rhinos get picked by Conclusion. Really good fast aggro unit. Could try to go for a back corner and click Whirlwind. Looks like he's just sold one, though, and he'll sell the other one a little bit later. Now the oil's going to come down, and what a brilliant oil turn this is going to be, because that's going to slow down so many of these balls. Oh, he's going to go multi-hacker for Chaff Clear. Oh, of course. Because it's good against crawlers, and it's good against balls. I mean, Wraiths will still clear very quickly. Does it work? I actually don't know. There's part of me that I think hero worships Fairy too much. I have a feeling Wraiths chaff clear too quickly for this to be good. But then again, it will stop the Wraith advancing, which is a big one. Now, obviously, you want to pay for movement speed, I'm pretty sure, is Conclusion. Now that we're in round 6. Do you level your Melters? I think you want to level your Melters, but you don't have enough money to, because you're trying to go for the multi-hack here. So he's gonna make 3 multi-hackers. Now, they only have 85-meter range, which is not that far. So they're going to be pretty vulnerable, these hackers. But the idea is to just steal chaff and units in front of them and have that allow them to survive. Balls now spreading across the left as well. Dude, this is a cool formation. I got to try this ball Wraith. 8-gun! Ladies and gentlemen, he's gone 8-gun. Floating artillery. It doubles the attacks on the Wraith. This guy now does 8 times 1,500. 12,000 damage every 1.6 seconds. Legitimate damage dealers now. These Wraiths are legitimate damage dealers. But with oil and hack, will oil and multi-hack turn this game around? Left side, Melter will defend. Missile stops the Rhino. Wraith does take down the Melter, though. And if this Wraith here... Oh, my gosh. Dude, these Wraiths are doing good. Because remember, they split fire as well. So they split their attacks as much as possible. So they don't get distracted by hacked units nearly as much as other units. Like I said, I don't know if hack's the play. And it definitely was not. He could try clicking range this next turn, hack from slightly further back. It might make the difference. To be fair, I don't think Fairy paid for range that turn. Did Thingo? Oh, and Conclusion paid, borrowed and paid for enhanced range and high mobility. He's going to get a massive win. But Fairy does get a monetary advantage from not investing in those things. But now that he's been in lethal territory, no more effing around. He has to invest everything. He's got to level his Melters and do all this stuff. Okay, so Orbital Bombard's really good on this defensive setup. You could argue it's not bad here as well. But he's actually going to go for... Is that Overlord, guys, or Vulcan? What is that? Oh my god, that is Vulcan's Descent. Oh, Photon Emission came down. That's going to reduce the damage on all these units. Really good against the Melters and the Hackers. Absolutely fantastic ability, guys. Wow, 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 wow. Big. That's a big, big photon. But, of course, the Vulcan's going to set fire, which means the chaff is going to disappear. Subterranean Blitz gets clicked on the crawlers as well. Oh, man. I don't know who wins now. We've got also, by the way, there was a level 2 Wraith in the corner I didn't even notice before. These crawlers are going to start getting multi-hacked pretty damn quickly. And this is just going to be a wild turn. I have no idea who wins. Did the Melters get leveled up, guys? One of them's level 2. Looks like he can't afford to level the other one unless that's the last thing he does. Borrows money, pays for range. Meanwhile, borrows money, mass recruitment, pays for range, pays for mobility. Crawlers trying to come in from every which way. There's also more balls coming in here, guys. There's balls behind the left tower. Sorry for the jagged zooms. I know the observing is not great, but it's hard to be super smooth on this game. I honestly don't know how this is going to go because the units are going to get through the oil quicker. Wraiths don't care. Level 3 Wraith is doing crazy damage when it gets in range now. Dude, I'm going to slow it down. We're going to slow this down. All right, the Vulcan's going to drop on that right side. Hacks already coming in from the very start. And I worry that these hackers are going to destroy. Sets everything on fire. The crawlers are just going to disappear. Now, the balls will lock on very quickly. The Vulcan will go down, but he's clearing all the chaff. And now every ball that dies in the fire, crawlers pop out of it. And then those crawlers just instantly burn to death as well. Right side, massive crawler flank is going to come in from that one multi-hacker. Left side, Ball's trying to get through. The single Wraith, though, it's taking a little bit too long to get forward. The Wraith stopping on those Phantom Rays, getting stuck on them a little bit. Needs to clear all these crawlers. Balls, can the Balls get on top? It's hard to see. There's not many balls left on the right side. I think this is a hold. I think this is a hold. The Wraiths They're starting to hit the melters, but the melters are charging, and you can see that melter damage. That melter damage, it's off the charts. Once it charges up, once the melter gets going, it is deadly. And that is a resounding victory for Fairy, who stops Conclusion in their tracks. Conclusion, 2 turns in a row of dumping money into every temporary upgrade they could not quite overwhelm. And that's very painful. I know it looks a bit awkward on the slow speed. I just think there's more time to process what's happening, so I hope you guys don't mind that. EMP is going to come down for both sides. Fantastic upgrade for this stage. And of course, EMP to remove the mechanical division, and the upgrades on the wraiths is big. There's an argument to barrier here to try to at least protect some of the balls from it. I don't know if it's worth it. Now, obviously, you need to spam barriers across to protect these melters and these hackers. There is range clicked on these hackers as well, by the way. Borrows money, pays for range. So even with multi, the hackers are now at 140 meter range. I wonder if he levels them. Since they're mostly hacking low hit point units, do you bother hacking, leveling your hackers? It looks like, yeah, he leveled. Okay, so he does level at least 1 hacker there. And does he go level 3 on the melter? Because I think when they're doing the split shot, leveling up their damage is pretty significant. And we're going to see these units are going to go left. Oh, great mobile beacon for Conclusion. Predicts where that EMP is going to land. He's going to dive left. Smart play. I think he gets the Wraith barely out. The balls should definitely get out. I'm not sure if the Wraith gets out. I think the Wraith barely dodges the EMP, but it'll still hit this Wraith and a few balls on the right side. This is an incredibly close game right now. This round almost certainly decides the whole thing. 1-1 has been upgraded for FlowerFairy. Was I calling him HorribleWill, by the way, guys? This is the winner's match. This is FlowerFairy up here. Have I been calling him HorribleWill the whole time? Man, I've been casting too long today. What can I say? 1-1 upgrades on both sides. FlowerFairy trying to defend with multi-melter hacker. The ball, look at how many crawlers there are. The anti-missiles block most of those missiles from going down. The EMP lands on these units on the right, but the Wraith continuing to the left. Can he overwhelm the left side? If Conclusion can crack that left tower, he might be able to wrap this up, but it looks like that right side is just being crushed. Missiles killing the flanking crawlers so big, but the balls are cracking through the left side. Left side's getting overwhelmed. Dude. Okay, but the Wraith got gunned down before the Paralyze could come in. That's really big. And that Wraith moves out of the track-on. It was getting locked onto, but it actually gets out of the beam range, which is massive. This Wraith is the only chaff clear. It's such an important unit. There's only 1 melter left. Dude, game's not going to end this round. No one has enough units left for lethal. An incredibly close round. Conclusion will come out on top. You can see when that Wraith gets in range. Oh my gosh, it's so powerful. Level 3 with the damage item. It does an absolutely whopping amount of damage. 8 times 2.2. It does about 20,000 damage per volley. Wow. I was calling him Fairy. That's good, guys. Thank you. Sometimes I'm casting so many games back to back and I get a bit confused. Especially when it's a Chinese name that I can't read. Conclusion. Overlord. And Typhoon. Oh, that's a cell, right? Oh, no, he actually takes the Typhoon. Level 4 Typhoon will rip these crawlers apart. And it shoots fast, which pairs up well with the hacker. He might even click another hacker on this left side, I think is what I would consider doing if I was in Fairy's shoes. Fairy's melters, still not super level, just a level 2 there and whatnot. Trying to drop some barriers, using missiles to clear up these crawlers on the flank. The Overlord, oh, Overlord Photon. He's gone Photon emission on the Overlord. Oh, I mean, you got to click a second one on the right side if you're going to do that, right? Yeah, maybe not. We'll see how it goes. Dude, he's got Replicate, Impact Drill, and Subterranean Blitz. I have such a stiffy for Conclusion right now. I love it. Dude, the commitment, just absolutely no holds barred. 100% aggression. If you can take down Fairy here with this play, I'll be very impressed. Because everyone's been telling me multi-melter defense, hacker defense, super OP against these aggro builds. But committing to the mechanical division balls, committing hard to the Wraiths. It's now a level 4 Wraith there. The Overlord coming in with the Photon emission, which is going to give a big AoE defensive buff. We'll see how it goes, though. No Overlord on the right side just yet. And Degen Wraiths. Ooh, defensive Wraiths for Fairy. Good chaff clear, but their aura also is going to slow down the enemy units and reduce their damage and whatnot. Ooh. What? Did he literally just leave? Or did it... the replay bug? All right, guys, so for whatever reason, the replay was bugged, so we've opened up the video of it. We're going to be watching the final round without sound. I don't know why the replay bugged. So you can see the final round now and how it actually played out. We've got it muted because otherwise you can hear Rooster's beautiful commentary, as amazing as that is. It'd be weird if we're talking over each other. So you can see the degen is blocked on the left side, but the whole right side still gets affected by the degen. And the wraiths are clearing the chaff. And like they insta-kill all the crawlers that pop out of the balls. And then they also tank the enemy wraiths a little bit as well. I think just that after skipping chaff clear all game long and it being incredibly close, he invests in 4 degeneration beam wraiths, and they're just a great chaff clear unit. And even when they're not hitting the degen, they just crush it, and Fairy destroys that last round one-sidedly. GG, well played.